Yo, I never even thought about the fact that Sony was around during the World War II times. I think. Hang on, let me check it. When was Sony founded?
May 7th, 1946.
Yeah, May 7th, 1946. When did World War II end?
World War II's end date, September 2nd, 1945.
Oh, so it was right after. So I'm curious, what is this video about? What wars has Sony been a part of? That's like a crazy concept for a video that I've this is good. This is a good concept. I love it.
Hey Sony, when were you founded, buddy?
19.
Oh no.
40.
Please don't.
6.
Oh, thank God.
Ah, come on, we didn't do this for the glory of the Empire of Japan.
I just had to wait a minute to find out. Okay, so whew, man, that was almost 1945. That would have been fucking crazy.
Man.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, our founders, Masaru Ibuku and Akio Morita, they did meet while serving in the Japanese Navy, but as researchers.
You see, you'd think saying researcher would mean it's a lot better, but in this case, it could be so much worse.
Really?
Yeah, I can think about 731 reasons why.
That is a really specific number, but relax, they met in a study group.
Aw, that's kind of cute.
Ah, just like a little middle school sleepover.
Yeah, swapping notes, figuring out who you like.
Yeah, and discussing really specific development of the infrared-guided bomb, the Kigo.
You think I'd be shocked, but teenage...
I'm just going over my head. Too smart for me. I don't know nothing about what they're talking about, or what he's talking about. This is one person talking to himself, I think, right? Unless he's got a twin. I don't know.
boys love talking about big toys that go boom.
What do you mean teenage? I've seen your search history. Why do you want to create a counterweight trebuchet that fires watermelons?
Because I want to feed the deer that live in the field across from my house.
Yep, 100%. That's what you're wanting that for. Not to sling bowling balls out of it or anything.
But I also don't want to leave home.
Okay, and we're off the rails. And according to his Wikipedia, he left the military in 1945.
That's a weird way to say they lost.
Yeah, why do they make it sound voluntary? That's like saying Napoleon was a really big fan of living on remote islands.
Okay, what did Ibuka do after?
He started a radio repair shop and a bombed-out department store.
Makes sense. If you want to fix things, go where the broke is.
Yeah, then he reunited with Morita, who came from a long line of...
Inventors?
No.
Electricians?
No.
Camera photographers?
Oh, sake and soy sauce.
Huh, what a weird pivot away from delicious.
Yeah, Morita's dad was super supportive, even giving him money for the new venture.
Or Sony?
Quite.
Yeah, this is a lot. I don't know if I can handle all this information, man. I'm not used to learning when I'm doing reactions. It's usually drama and I'm bitching about it. I'm just bitching about learning. I don't want to learn. I'm just kidding. I love learning. I'm going to learn more. I'm eating it up.
Tokyo Telecommunications Engineering Corporation.
Ah, catchy.
And then they got into technology.
Okay, what was first?
The classic technology we all know and love. A rice cooker.
Huh, I mean, technically that's tech.
The problem is it kind of sucked. It either burned rice or undercooked it, like, all the time.
Kind of impressive it did both.
Yeah, then we got to making everything.
Why do we even need rice cookers? I don't understand the rice cooker thing. Just make your own rice. Like, it's not hard. You boil the water, you do like a 50% markup, 50% more water than you do the rice, right? You boil the water, you wash your rice, you pour the rice in the boiling water, turn it down to a simmer, put your timer on 30 minutes. Do not open the lid. Do not open the lid. Trust the rice. It will be cooked in 30 minutes. Take it off after 30 minutes. Fluff up that rice. Put in your butter. You can put in salt then if you want, or you could have put in salt before you actually put the lid on to cook the rice. And then you put a timer on for 5 more minutes. And then you mix it. And boom! Perfect fucking rice. Every time.
Much everything we talking.
Well, we made Japan's first tape recorder, the Type G, and figured we needed a more global name.
Sony?
First we wanted to call it TTK. That was the same name as a railway company, so...
Then Sony?
Occasionally we use Tatsuko as the symbolic acronym, but Americans couldn't pronounce it.
Then Sony?
You'd think, but no. We wanted to go by Tokyo Teletech, but Morita discovered that an American company was already going by the name Teletech.
Okay, when is it Sony?
Now, they mixed 2 words, the Latin word sonos, meaning sound or sonic.
Okay, that makes sense. And the other?
Sunny, like the American slang word for a young boy.
Huh.
That was a loan word that in Japanese meant a smart and presentable young...
Well, you learn something new every day. It was useless. I don't know what I'm going to do with that information, but hey, it's in there now. That's probably going to come up in a conversation when I'm drunk in like 6 months with some random person I met at a campsite.
man, which Morita and Ibuka considered themselves.
Well, hey, I mean, that's incredibly wholesome from the bomb-making guys.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, their bank hated that name and needed to sign off on it for some reason.
What?
Yeah, super odd for a Japanese company at the time to use Roman letters instead of kanji, and the bank president thought Sony was dumb.
Why does that guy get a vote?
No idea, but he suggested Sony Electronic Industries or Sony Teletech, but Morita was like, nah, man, I don't want to be pinned into one industry.
Oh boy, that was foreshadowing.
Yeah, it turns out having a super generic name is really helpful if you want to do all the things.
True. They got Sony Pictures. They got Sony Electronics. Is it Sony Electronics? I don't fucking remember. Sony makes TVs. Sony makes PlayStation. Do they make anything that's not an electronic? I bet they do. I bet they have like random appliances, like random things like Samsung does. I think Samsung even has nails, but Samsung owns all of Korea basically, and I think Sony probably owns all of Japan basically, because that's like Japan's Samsung.
Okay, so then you guys did tech.
Yeah, the first Sony branded product was the TR-55 transistor radio, which was a nightmare, by the way.
Why?
Because Japan didn't have transistor tech yet, so Masura had to secure licensing of it from Bell Labs in the US.
Oh, who are they owned by?
Nokia, like the indestructible phone people.
So the Finnish company's US labs gave licensing permission to the Japanese.
So for
That sounds like corporate bureaucracy. Bro, even all the way back then, when corporations really weren't that old. Man, it just snowballed, got out of control nowadays. Everything's all fucked up.
simple, and because of that, we became one of the first companies to use transistors in non-military products, which is pretty crazy because that's how all of our tech becomes so small.
That's cool.
Yeah, then we realized we should probably go
That is pretty cool. I gotta give them that.
global. So Sony Corporation of America was founded in 1960.
Wow, what was it like in America?
Well, the TR-63 cracked the market, but Morita was shocked by the mobility of employees between American companies.
What do you mean?
Yeah, whenever they got around to making VCRs, the VHS players, bro, astronomical. Changed the world. Changed America.
Like, if you saw a manager working in another company, you could just ask if they'd come work for you.
That's poaching.
There's a word for it? Cool. Anyway, Morita started doing
Man, Sony used to be so cool.
that back in Japan and filled a whole bunch of positions with really valuable people, really setting the standard for Japan today.
Okay, glad we gave something.
Then we made TVs, our first being the TBA-301. It was the first all-transistor TV.
And how'd it go?
Well, bad. So Ibuka was like, fine, I'll do it myself, and created the 12-inch Trinitron.
That thing looks really cool. I like the way that TV looks. I want it. I like old TVs like that. Even if they don't work, or even if they're garbage, I just like the way they look. I would totally put that behind me on my bookshelf.
What made it special?
We used to use a single gun with 3 cathodes instead of 3 inline or triangle placed like previous TVs.
Wow, I almost understood that.
Yeah, man, we
I
made a
didn't.
TV so good it won an Emmy Award.
Didn't know that was a category.
Then we made bomb parts for the US during Vietnam.
Okay, I guess old habits die hard.
Then in 1979, we started doing life insurance.
Wow, you really 180'd from bombs to life insurance.
Yeah, then we made the world's first video
Hey, get our life insurance so when we bomb you, you can collect your money. Fucking, okay.
cassette in 1971, the U-matic.
Nice.
Then we were part of the video format war. We lost.
Not big on winning wars, are you?
Nah, then we all
Wait, was Sony behind Betamax? Or were they behind the killing of Betamax? What happened here? Actually, I know what killed Betamax. It was porn.
did floppy disks, but those didn't last.
Oh, you mean the save icon?
I'll stab you.
Ah, fuck. I'm old.
Okay, carry on.
Then introduced the Walkman, the first portable music player.
I had a Walkman, but it was one when they were MP3 players. I had a Walkman MP3 player, and it was actually incredible. I was in like, I think 7th grade. I had a Walkman MP3 player. Dude, life-changing. Before that thing, I was carrying around a portable CD player that I got from Walmart. And I had to like hold it in my hands and be stable and careful. And I had to like walk softly so the CD wouldn't skip. And if I take it on the bus, if I knew that it was about to get bumpy, I had to hold it over my head and like hold it loose so the bumps wouldn't shake it around too much so I wouldn't get skips.
Okay.
Then we worked with Philips to create the CD. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, everybody has.
Yeah, then we teamed up with Philips again to create the SACD for audio encoding. And we had a format war again with DVD audio.
And who won?
Actually, we both lost because people just
Wait, did he skip over the whole VHS thing? Because that was a pretty big thing.
like regular CDs so much. So I guess we won, but like in the past.
Okay, when did you get into gaming?
But first we just did parts, like the sound chip for the SNES.
I love the SNES.
Yeah, but then we started working on a CD-ROM based system with Nintendo. We even announced it at the Consumer Electronics Show in June of 1991 as the Nintendo PlayStation.
Okay, but then what happened?
And then they betrayed us. They said they wanted to partner with Philips instead.
Dude, Sony's been a rocky company apparently from the start all the way through up until now, and it's still rocky. How do they keep growing? That's crazy. Probably backroom deals with governments and like other giant corporations.
It went back on our agreement.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, apparently they were nervous that if we had success with them, that we would then muscle our way into the video game market. And now they assured that we would.
Yeah, remember the Philips CDI? I don't. Not when it came out, anyway. Or any time after. I had one in 2014. Never played it. I just had it because it was cool to have. Because it was old technology that was crappy. What happened to Philips? Are they still around?
Ah, vengeance time.
Our president Norio Oga was so angry he created Sony Computer Entertainment, put Ken Kutaragi in charge, and said destroy them.
And how'd it go?
We used CD storage to do 3D graphics to create the PlayStation.
Did that work?
We weren't sure if it was gonna work, but then we saw this guy, Yu Suzuki.
Oh, it worked. It worked all right. The PlayStation changed the way people play games. Like, it was crazy. Nintendo couldn't even compete, really. And they released Nintendo 64 after the PlayStation 1, and it just wasn't as good. It had some good games, but everybody had the same games. With the PlayStation 1, everybody had different games, and they had different good games.
Partner with Lockheed Martin of all people to get some cool tech for a dope racing game.
Why are they always involved somehow?
But Sega ended up being too cautious with the tech, so we just jumped into 3D games and Namco abandoned Nintendo to make our games.
That wasn't the last betrayal.
Yeah, then Nintendo went and made the GameCube, which had little kitschy discs, so we lured more people to our side.
Yeah, the Capcom 5 is like the greatest betrayal in gaming history.
Yeah, they could have had an easy win with Resident Evil 4, considered one of the best games of all time, but instead, we also got a shot at it.
Yeah, like, Resident Evil 4 released on the GameCube, I didn't even play it. Apparently, that's the better version. But the version that I know is the PlayStation 2 version. And I think it's just fine. I love the PlayStation 2 version. I have the PC version now, and it's the best one. But when I was a kid, PlayStation 2 Resident Evil 4 was the go-to. Goated.
Hold more of the Nintendo exclusive games than they did.
Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, and our original PlayStation beat the brakes off the N64, probably because our controllers were developed for human hands.
And after?
The PlayStation 2 became the best-selling console of all time, just absolutely shellacking every enemy.
I love a good revenge story.
Yeah, the top 13 consoles by units sold, we're 5 of them. The PlayStation 1 through 5.
So what do you do now?
Well, we continue to pretty much do everything. Car audio, computing.
They also had, like, the PSP, which was fucking awesome, way ahead of its time. It was like the Switch before the Switch, you know? It came out over a decade before it.
55% of the total global image sensor market.
Wait, what?
Yeah, second largest camera manufacturer in the world and a semiconductor sales leader.
Oh my.
And the third largest TV manufacturer in the world.
Well,
I don't think so anymore. I think they've fallen out of those categories.
at least that's it.
So it keeps going. We did mobile phones and robotics.
Yeah, they don't do the mobile phones thing anymore.
Like this cute little guy, the Curio.
Yeah, I don't think they do robots anymore.
Aw, but horrifying.
Also, biotech and healthcare for cytometers, and partner with Olympus for endoscopes that shoot in 4K.
They probably still have all that stuff.
That's right, your insides, movie quality.
Yeah, you know what? That one could have stayed at 1080p. I do not want to see my insides that well.
We also do movies, and occasionally, one of them happens to be good.
Spider-Man, The Karate Kid, Men in Black.
Madam Web, Kraven the Hunter, Morbius.
Oh no, I forgot those were Sony and not Marvel. Ugh.
Shh, we don't talk about those.
We also do TV shows like Jeopardy and The Wheel of Fortune.
I didn't know that.
Really? Yeah, we bought
I'm learning a lot of stuff from this video.
Columbia Pictures, then we got hacked, proving we didn't know what we were doing with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I remember when they got hacked over that whole The Interview thing. Remember the movie The Interview? That was like making fun of North Korea, and North Korea hacked Sony.
Yeah.
We made fun of North Korea, then upped our security detail, probably unrelated.
Yeah, not a good way to go.
I continue to do a ton of music and even anime. We go on Crunchyroll.
Did you ever stop?
I didn't know Sony owned Crunchyroll. What the fuck? Makes so much sense though that it is barely any good.
Doing new business side quests?
Oh, because we also still have financial services like Sony Life, Sony Bank, and Sony Assurance.
Why?
It's a weird one. We actually offer such low rates that it could affect our premium brand name with everything else we do.
Huh, the only thing you did cheaper for people was finance. You're a weird duck.
Yeah, and then finally, electric vehicles and batteries, partnering with Honda.
Oh my gosh, I think I could live my whole life and only touch Sony products.
Pretty much, and you can almost keep all of it.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sure we agree that most things now aren't meant to be bought and owned by the consumer.
What? Oh, get that out of here. You're gonna own nothing and be happy, stupid.
Oh, I hate where this is going.
So, for instance, we removed the Discovery app from our consoles, including anything people might have paid for, because, you know, they had it long enough.
Oh, what else is bad?
Well, Greenpeace.
Like, did they ever do anything about this? Hashtag stop killing shows and movies and games and everything. Stop killing entertainment, damn it. They do this shit for profit. And once they start losing money on it, they're like, well, we don't want to release all these things for free, so we're just gonna nuke it from orbit and just pretend it never happened. Money!
Hates us, but they hate everyone.
Fair.
We got busted when a document got leaked about us, you know, spying on environmentalists to counter their movements, specifically based around getting legislation around
It's kind of based, actually.
electronics companies to clean up their toxic chemicals.
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
it's
come
kinda based.
on.
Oh,
Like, you should clean up your toxic chemicals, but also, fuck political activists.
hate it.
Now we're trying to get 75% of our buildings to geothermal power, so...
That's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Except for that one time that we kind of ran a cartel on videotapes.
What?
Oh, you know, the EU found us, Fuji, and Maxwell colluding and doing illegal contracts, controlling, you know, 85% of the market.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look further into that. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
Did it have anything to do with porn?
And then they raised our fine by a third because we were obstructing the investigation or shredding evidence during raids.
Wow. That's what those idiots at Twitch are doing right now. They're being sued by Ethan Klein.
You shredded the evidence of the things you did? Oh. What did your founders really do during World War II?
Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking the whole time.
Okay, I'll let you know, but first you have to put together all these little pieces of paper.
Damn. Yeah. These mega corporations are evil as fuck. I don't own any Sony products, I don't think. I own a couple of things from Sony that they can't possibly make money from, because I bought them at thrift stores and yard sales and garage sales, stuff like that. Like old tech. I ain't buying anything new that they'd make money from. No thank you. Get that shit out of here. I ain't about that life.